We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Well-Hatted Cinema Club. Let's go, gentlemen. I'm just trying to get the energy going. As always, I'm Eric, surrounded by my two incredibly handsome co-hosts. We've got Micah and Brian. Give it up for these guys, man. Wow.
Thank you.
These guys, we got another great episode for you guys. Back here after only 1 week this time, so more of a condensed episode here. I got a little hard stop, so exciting stuff to go over as always. And later this week we actually will be meeting up in person, so that's exciting stuff at the beach. So we'll see what kind of content we can put out. I know, Brian, I'm still excited to see your TikToks, what you've been cooking up.
Don't worry, you'll get to.
Oh yeah. But a pretty straightforward episode for us. We're going to go around our movie news roundup, and then we're going to talk about our movie of the week, which Micah picked. But before we get into any of that, as always, we're going to go around the horn and talk about what we've been watching this last week. So, Micah, I'll kick it over to you first, brother. What you been watching?
So, off week for me, no watches, but a read. I've started The Wager.
Ooh.
That was rumored to be Martin Scorsese's, he's always adding movies and then not doing them. If you've seen the studio, maybe you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to your Emmy nomination. We'll get to that later. Marty got his first one at 100 years old. So yeah, I've just been reading that, and Eric suggested, think about Leo as the main guy and try and cast it in your head. So I've been doing that. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, no, just on your point on The Wager, I know in terms of Marty, this should be the second adaptation of, what's the author's name again?
David
Grant?
David Grin.
David Grimm, yeah. Obviously, the other one's being Killers of the Flower Moon. And this book came out, I think, last year, and I picked it up. And I know at the time there were the rumors for the Marty movie, and at the time Leo had been linked to it, as he is with every Marty movie, it feels like.
Why not?
So going through, like you said, it's a good read. It's not as I don't know if the word's linear, but straightforward. There's multiple points of view. The whole story, it's a true story, so it's very ambiguous. So I'll be curious to see what route Marty takes with that. But as for me, actually a great week in terms of giving me time to watch movies. I went out to Utah, so I was on the plane a bit. Ended up, I downloaded a library of movies to see whatever movie I'm in. Going out there, I watched all of season 1 of Mindhunter. Coming back, though, when I was out in Utah, we got in a huge argument. Me, my buddy Zach, who I'm trying to get on the pod sometime, his girlfriend Jenny, we got in an argument about Challengers and who's
do they not like it?
Team Pat, and that whole
that
concept.
The guys, okay.
Yeah. And I think Micah and I watched this movie with Megan. Shout out Megan. Challenger Squad. I came out of that movie adamantly on board with Team Art and honestly siding more with him. And so on the way back, Riley wanted to watch Challengers because she hadn't seen it and she wanted to find out what we were talking about. Yeah. So I went in with the perspective of trying to understand Team Patrick a little bit more, and I came out just thinking these three just need to be fucking that's my takeaway. But a really fun rewatch. I hadn't watched it since the theaters. I do think the second time going in with the mindset of watching Patrick, I think he's the only one of the three that understands everyone completely and himself very completely.
Yeah.
I was very I don't necessarily will never agree with the fact that he's on board with cheating with Tashi and that whole dynamic, but he admits who he is. He also understands who Art is, who Tashi is, and I think it makes lending perspective on that, understanding his point of view a little bit more. I mean, that final scene, him choosing to tell Art, is also kind of a way, to say, Tashi, I know you don't want Art to win this way, because he understands that. So, but yeah, I don't know if you guys have watched Challenges recently, but no, I'm still angry about the score getting snubbed.
I remember somebody broke it down to me one time that to really get it is that obviously at the core it's Art and Pat. Is it Pat, the dark-haired guy? Patrick. Yeah. Art and Patrick are friends, right? But really what it comes down to is Patrick is wrestling with he has feelings for Art. Even if he doesn't know it, he has
Do you have it backwards? Isn't Art's on the outside? It's Patrick and...
Isn't Art the one who ends up marrying Tashi, the one who's going for the open, or I got it backwards?
Art is marrying Tashi.
Yeah.
You are correct, so Brian, where Patrick is feeling things for
Patrick
obvious.
Has these feelings, even if he doesn't know it, for Art. Art truly is in love with Tashi at the end of the day. And Tashi, and this is the most crucial part, really ultimately her love is tennis. And so that's why she keeps doesn't all the meddling she does. So it creates this whole cycle, but that's why the ending is amazing because like it ultimately like all culminates at the end where like, you know, Art like realizes like it all Patrick like does that shit to fuck with him, and then he does this, and Tashi's freaking out because they finally like all get what they want in a way. It's weird.
Yeah.
Even though it's not direct.
She says it early on. She's like, when they're in the room together the first time, they like do the little throuple kissing. She's like, all I want is good tennis, to see some good tennis. And that's kind of like the through message for her motivations to a degree throughout the movie. And watching it with Riley, because she was like locked in. But when Tashi tore her like knee, her meniscus, everything, she like screamed on the plane. Like people like looked at me. She went like looked away, and like at the end when Art does the same move in the final match point, she like, also like screamed again, like because she was like, oh, it's gonna happen again. But it was a fun watch.
Yeah,
rewatch. But over to you, Brad.
Cool. I actually had a lot of watches over the last week. The day after we recorded, it was over at Carly's house, and her and her roommate said they'd never seen Borat. So we watched Borat, which...
aged pretty rough.
Listen, it was still funny. It's super funny, for sure. Like, yeah, like you said, I don't know if the environment changed or I've just gotten older. I don't remember it being as hard to watch. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and not even as much about, like, what he's saying, about what everyone else is saying and around him. Like, I don't remember the... Oh, sorry, go ahead. No, I was just saying, like, for an example, like, you think about all the cringiest, craziest scenes in Borat. I don't remember the scene when he's on the bus, the RV with those frat dudes, being problematic at all. But it's super, super gross. Like, when you watch it again, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was still very funny. But yeah, that happened. We watched Get Out, me and my roommates, one night, which we could do a whole bit about that. Like, that movie is fucking incredible. Like, every time I watch, I learn more about it. Like, everyone talks about ranking Jordan Peele's movies, and you want to debate liking Us or Nope, go nuts. I don't care. It's not even close. And I like the other two. It's not even close. Mike, I got around to watching Ballerina.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't believe it, because this movie actually was, like, we're like, oh, we're going to focus less on the plot than John Wick. Mm-hmm. Like, they're too plot heavy. They're too bogged down by that. And then they also said these movies that are just known for action, they were like, you know what? I think it's a little too grounded in realism. Just cranked it up. God damn it, Carly. She said she was going to do that. Anyway, yeah, no. So, but Micah, like you said, when I know you had talked about, like, like, at the end of the day, though, I was thoroughly entertained the whole time.
How about them flamethrowers, Brian?
Like, oh my God. Like, so many.
Grenades, Brian?
So many of the scenes were unbelievably entertaining, where like I knew that the plot was shit and this and that, but like I didn't care. I think like they are making a fifth John Wick, to my understanding.
I think they caved. Yeah, there's gonna be an animated something, and then they're also number 5, and like Keanu Reeves is like, I don't know, begging the public to stop them. He's like, my knees don't work anymore. Yeah. Stop making me do this. But it's gonna be like a Daniel Craig where he's like, kill me again. Like, I guess
please.
He wasn't killed hard enough the first, you know.
Yeah, it's also funny, like, watching this movie, because you had talked about, I think, a couple weeks ago about, like, how good of an actor is Keanu? And I just saw Point Break, which we'll talk about later.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not going to bring out that. But I'm saying, like, something about his delivery in the John Wick movies. He must be doing it on purpose. Like, seems like you already are. I'm like, do you want to try that again?
We'll get to it. I have thoughts.
Yeah, no, but the Ballerina was great. Anyway, I'll speed on these last two. I watched The Emperor's New Groove one night.
Yeah.
Just a rewatch. So fucking funny.
Yeah.
Maybe it's bias. So funny. And then the day before I watched our movie of the week, somehow I ended up watching a different bank robbery movie from the 90s, and that was Set It Off.
Yeah.
Gary Gray's, Jeremy, every now and then tells us we need to watch like a black movie. So we watched F. Gary Gray's Set Off, which was Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, Vivica A. Fox, and one other chick. 4 chicks robbing a bank. Pretty solid little romp. Here's what I'll say about this, is that I've never seen a movie... Oh my God, so hard, like crazy. Like that scene lasts like a full 120 seconds. It's out of control. But I haven't seen a robbery movie where like the police chasing them have them clocked 45 minutes into the bit. Well, because Eric, I don't know if have you seen the movie, Rick?
No, I haven't.
The thing that pisses me off, and she keeps doing it, is whenever they get the getaway car, you know, they steal the one. She goes through the CDs and throws them out the window, and then has someone else pass her tape she wants to listen to. And so they keep getting her prints. They've been building a rap off the CD she throws out the window, and she keeps fucking Oh, it drove me crazy. Anyway, that was my. That was mine. Sorry, listen. My movies have been up this week, and then obviously another one I watch is going to be the first thing on our list here, so I'll hold off on that.
Speaking of the first thing on our list, why don't we get there? Eric, do you want to take us into?
Yeah, no. Kind of to come full circle to what we were talking about at the end of our last episode. Superman. It was the opening weekend this past weekend. All three of us went, but Superman ended up racking in $220 million. This is globally. So, successful weekend. I think that was up against a $228 or $230 million budget.
I think
something around.
Regardless, it's gonna profit. That's weekend one. You already you got all the way there. Micah, you want to fill us in how close we were?
All right, I'll work my way in. So Eric the optimist. Eric projected Superman to make $280 million opening weekend globally.
I was on that Superman hopium, man. I believe in good and justice.
He's human. And then on the other side, we got Brian, a little bit of a pessimist. Brian said 200.
Is that pessimistic? 200 million in your first.
And then Micah the Sniper, I guess that's what I'll call myself. Micah the Sniper with 215.
That was really good. That was right on the money.
Right?
Yeah, it's well done.
So I will say, across the board, our projections except for Brian, are lower for Fantastic Four by quite a bit. So I'll be curious to see in 2 weeks how that goes.
As I said last week, I've been rooting for Superman. I'm happy it's doing great.
Yeah.
Again, there's no accounting for taste and the Marvel grip on America. Like, good for Superman.
This is like not bad.
Yeah, it's crushing.
No, I think this is pretty good.
But that's not to say that, like, you'd see, like, they'll be like, oh, Fantastic Four got 400. Like, it could make some stupid amount of money, even if it's trash.
Well, it didn't happen to Captain America or
Thunderbolts. And Thunderbolts was good.
No,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Eric. You saying that's not a recognizable IP. Nobody's heard of those guys.
That's right. Maybe we're not recognizing the Pedro Pascal effect because.
But
for Fantastic Four, he might as well get. I mean, we're gonna get into Emmy noms, but he might get an Oscar for Fantastic Four at this rate, you know. And I like Pedro Pascal, but
yeah, I mean, listen, we'll have to see what happens with Fantastic Four. But reality is, Superman made a lot of money around where we said it was going to do, and is pretty well received. We've all seen it. Mm-hmm. Eric, I didn't see your review, but I'm going to go on a limb and say it was higher than Micah's. So I'm going to start with Micah, who I didn't say you disliked it. I'm just saying a little more mixed.
Right down the middle.
You did. Why don't you open up a little about what you liked, what you didn't like?
Yeah, so I liked the main three. I liked David Cornsweet. I liked Rachel Brosnahan, and I liked the man who played Lex Luthor, whose name I'm blanking on.
Nicholas Hoult.
I liked Nicholas Hoult a lot. He did a lot with limited screen time. You know, he's like behind a screen a lot. But I liked their casting. I liked some of it did feel like a comic book, which I liked. Hard to translate, like, the idea of, like, a still image in a movie. But he did give us several times where he's like, this is just a panel from a comic book. And I enjoyed all of those, especially at the end. I guess spoiler for Superman. It's Superman and Lois, like, kissing and, like, the lights beaming in and they're flying. That's great. There's a couple of times where he's just like, this is Superman, like, big ol' S, like that. I liked anytime David Cornsweet was on screen with someone, like that worked. He's got good and not like, you know, he was able to match everyone, and I think that worked really well. I liked Rachel Brosnahan. I think they gave her stuff to do, which was nice, and I thought she handled it well. They kind of gave her that detective role, kind of leading you through without feeling super, like, exposition-y. They didn't make her exposition girl.
Yeah, right, like kind of what they did with Amy Adams in that, what was that, the second one, right?
Hard to, and I think what helped the movie is not doing the intro stuff. They really drop you into it, you know, which I liked as well. James Gunn even said he grows tired of, like, we don't need to see the pearls flying off of Martha. We don't need to see baby Superman. I liked his parents. I thought they were great. They don't need to look like him, and I thought that was a good choice because he's adopted. Why would they look like him? What didn't work for me was whenever those three weren't on screen, and there's a little bit with, like, the Justice Gang. Could do without the Justice Gang when it got really CGI heavy, especially when you're in the the pocket world, when he's like, he's in the dimensional river and holding the baby, I was like, time to stop. And then there was a lot going on, and I don't know if it all landed, but I did like it. I like the castings. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
No, I think what you said is fair. I feel like the only time I kind of, with this movie specifically, where I'm like, why didn't you like it? Why I asked that is that you have one of two things that I just like firmly don't agree with. One is like the weird Snyder people, small pocket.
Wait, what?
But no, I'm just saying, like, if people who are like trying to like who don't like it because of trying to compare 1-to-1 with Man of Steel, it's like, okay, well, that's stupid. And two, where we don't have to get into this part where there's very clearly an allegory to some world events going on here. Pretty on the nose. Sure, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I know a lot of, like, the right media has been calling, like, super woke. And what I say is, like, oh, I'm so, like, is kindness woke? Is being a good person? Like, and I, like, what are we... That's my thing. Is, like, does that annoy you? No, I think I really enjoyed it. I think it's a movie, especially, that kids now are going to... This is going to be, like, a big part of, like, a superhero, like, thing for them going forward, which I love. Yeah, things I didn't like. Micah, that's a scene... The only scene in the movie where I was, like, raised an eyebrow at the CGI and stuff was that whole river sequence.
Well, I just didn't... I mean, put them in a real prison. They're already doing the, like, people getting disappeared off the street by, like, you know, thugs and stuff. And, I mean, if you want to get political, just put it in the world. You know,
sure.
You already have you have a Tucker Carlson stand-in. You've got the Elon Musk stand-in. You've got, like, the, you know, Israel-Palestine stand-in. You've got... I mean,
why are we in the?
Go ahead and give us a real prison instead of like the Shadow Realm. I just didn't need it.
Eric, I'll pass off to you, but I just want to say, like, I mean, Nicholas Hoult, God, all-time first-team NBA hater. I did like it, and I loved watching that in action. But yeah, Ricky, I'll pass up to you.
No, I mean, this is a movie where like I feel good. I felt good about it coming out. Like I haven't logged it on Letterboxd, but it's gonna get like a 3.5 stars out of me. Like I came out of it pretty happy. I'm like, it's a job well done for James Gunn, because you got to think about, like we talked about it last time, but this is a movie that's got to establish these characters, especially those central three, make us believe that they work, which is hard to do for Superman especially, and then do a little bit of world building at the same time if this is going to be the jumping off point. And so I thought to start it off, like the Star Wars crawl was an interesting choice. I wasn't expecting that. I figured we were starting somewhat later in Superman's career, but I was surprised we got like a Star Wars crawl. I do think it worked out, and it established kind of like, oh, metahumans have been around and known for like centuries. So that kind of gives me the tip, like, this is like a world that is very, like, it is more comic booky. Like, it's not Man of Steel. It's diverging from that completely. Like, this is very, like, people are aware that there's weird shit going on. No one's surprised when there's a giant kaiju running through the streets.
They had their phones out like you would if, like, someone was fighting in the street. You'd be like,
exactly.
Oh, that's crazy.
Exactly. And I think that's, like, you know, everything's a little comic booky over the top. So, kind of, like, that first act, for me, getting, like, used to that was a little, like, jarring at first. I liked that initial... any really of the fight scenes with the kind of Ultraman with Nicholas Hoult shouting like moves. Yeah. I was like, this is kind of like hype, and I was enjoying it. And to your point, Micah, like Nicholas Hoult is in like the same room for like 60%, maybe 70%.
Yeah, right. He walks to besides like a meeting with the government, and he goes to the Fortress of Solitude briefly.
Right. He is in that room. Like, that command center the majority of the time. And he has to do a lot just basically with his, like, just with the camera completely on him. I know that meme picture of him going around holding the coffee, like, smirking, is, like, the hater photo going on. I'm like, that means it worked. Like, everyone's, like, completely bought into his, like, hater role. Yeah. And I was fine with it. So, I think James Gunn did a great job with setting those up. Similar to a lot of his movies, some of his jokes don't land for me. But more often than not, I find myself, like, gripped into the long action scenes, the long takes with the camera moving around, like Mr. Terrific's fight at the camp.
That was great. Music. That was probably one of the best scenes in the...
Yeah, it was a lot of fun with a character...
Well, action-wise.
Knew nothing about going in, and now he's like, I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific. Like, I'm like, damn, that fucking hits. But, yeah, I mean, it makes me happy. This is a movie that, like, some of it didn't work. I'm kind of with Micah in the sense that, like, there was a lot going on. I'm seeing Metropolis get ripped in half, and I'm like, what are we doing?
With you on that point, as someone who probably liked it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It was still, I'm like, I feel like you didn't need a ticking clock kind of thing that was the split.
They're doing a war, a ticking clock, and a clone at the same time. I was like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And it didn't feel like they were, and at the same time, they're like, we cleared the whole city. And to me, it's like, maybe it's like two ends of the spectrum, right? Because Man of Steel, it's like, that inspires the whole BVS thing where Batman vs Superman, because like they killed everyone in that city, and they fucked it all up. No one got out. This one ever got out. There was really no stakes until it like, oh shit, it's getting across the river to Jersey, basically, where everyone else is. And
well, he had a cheeky kind of answer to the Man of Steel thing, because he emphasizes earlier, and again, maybe you didn't like this, maybe you did, but like about him trying to save everyone.
Right, the squirrel.
People to the squirrel.
Yeah.
When they kill the fucking kaiju thingy that Lex released, he not only like is like trying to stop him from hitting buildings, but like doesn't want to kill it. So like with the Man of Steel thing, again, I like Man of Steel. I'm just saying the argument was it's like it's not just because like, oh, this event happened that destroyed Metropolis. No, Superman and Zod were, boom. That was Superman going through those buildings, which that was like the difference.
And I like this take on Superman much better in terms of
positive
the character, and like. And because maybe that's what Superman should have been a decade ago, more than a decade ago, more grounded take. It makes sense why they did it. But now it's kind of like people are looking more for that positive spin on the character, which is more in line with the comic. So I like what James Gunn's doing. I want to see more. I got high hopes for it. And hopefully I can look back on this movie as something that I'm like, this was a good starting off point.
I think we will look back on this movie like more fondly. And I think the thing that he's doing is like, it was a solid enough movie, like as people like us objectively watching it. It had enough in there for like the universe building, even like things that I had questions about, like where I'm like, what is that thing driving the ferry?
Yeah.
Who are this now? I don't know if you saw the Gotham City exit sign at one point. Like there's cues there, but like it ultimately like is like this new positive take on Superman that like, again, we forget, ultimately, these are for kids. And I think you're going to see a lot of kids, like, really being excited about Superman the same way we were excited about Spider-Man, when we were 7.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
This was fun. I was in the theater, I was in a daytime showing, and there were a bunch of kids, and there was a bunch of, like, I want to say kids, but they could have been adults with special needs, and they were loving this, like, having a blast. Kids were getting excited, like, and that's what it's all about.
I'm going to cut this out, but where are you going, Brian? Because, you bring up the special needs people in your showings all the time.
There's been 2 different theaters, I might add. This one was a positive thing. There was a guy up in the handicap...
sensory screenings on accident. I'm sorry.
What do you want me to say? He was there. He kept, it was an elderly couple with their adult son in a wheelchair. I don't want to make assumptions about what's going on, but he was loving it. Listen, it was fun. I
had fun.
I enjoyed it probably a little bit more than others because but yeah, it was a little silly at times, but cool, good, and for starting it off, can you ask for much more?
Yeah.
You cannot ask for more. That is for sure.
I agree. My concerns moving forward are like those 3, fantastic. We didn't even talk about like big dick swinging Jimmy over here. He's cleaning up, but I'm worried once we expand the universe, right? That like. I thought the chemistry between those 3 characters, like Dave and Gordon Sweat with both of them, fantastic. Like that, the 2 scenes where Superman's like face to face. I'm not talking about really the scene where he's in like the pocket dimension, but like the first time he goes to his office and that scene at the end, I'm like,
those are the 2 best scenes.
Great scenes, like,
right? The first time you see him angry. Yeah. When he's actually like, he doesn't hit him or anything, but you actually see him like,
where's the dog?
And they're filming him like trying to be like, get him. Yeah. They're like, he enraged, man. No, he's like. And then the other one when he like actually explains like his humanity, and they made the good call about like usually the other, I think they used to do like where Jor-El would be like, you are the peacekeeper. They were showing like no, like what made him great was being human, not what like a divine purpose.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good twist.
I was on board with it. I hope moving forward when they build out the lore, because we're gonna see these characters again, that it's not like Batman versus Superman where I feel like Amy Adams kind of got tossed to the side to a degree, and like they couldn't build that Lex Luthor relationship. Like I want these movies, even if they bring in Batman, whatever they do with Wonder Woman, the Justice League, like I want like a lot of screen time with Batman, with David Cornswet, Nicholas Hoult, and Rachel. Like, I want those three to be able to continue to share the screen together.
Yeah. Do you think the next movies for them coming out, both next year, are Supergirl and Clayface? So those are the next.
And they have the Lantern series. It's not a movie.
I think their goal is to do like 1 to 2 movies a year, multiple shows, and some animated stuff. So. Yeah.
Might be bad, might be good. I don't know. Let's see. But honestly, people are like, this is the kickoff. Good job.
Yeah. Way to get it going.
Speaking of Metropolis, which is adjacent to Gotham, which is run by a man, but not necessarily this man. We don't know if it's connected yet. The Penguin. Yeah. The Emmy nominations have come out, and the Penguin is second in total nominations at the Emmys this year with 24, only behind Severance with 27. I want to talk about this a little bit. We don't have to go too crazy. The big ones, Severance obviously number 1 with 27. The Penguin with 24. The studio has 23 nominations, and The White Lotus has 23 as well. It is important to note with, especially the studio and White Lotus, a lot of them, they stacked one category with like the supporting actor or actress. But still, just want to hear you guys' thoughts about some of those or any of the other noms. I can read off the other like leading shows if you'd like.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Anyway, next, Last of Us walked away with 16.
Mm-hmm.
Andor and Hacks. I'm not familiar with Hacks. Got 14.
Hacks is a comedy. Yeah.
Adolescence got 13, and then The Bear got 13. That that always gets some. And The Pit, which is that nursing real time or the ER real time one, got 13 as well. So yeah, want to hear your thoughts on that? We can go a little farther into categories. What do we think?
I can't. Sorry, it's one of the rare times I've seen most of these shows like entirely, except with The Last of Us. So that's pretty cool. At least from the top 5, like Severance, The Penguin, The Studio, and White Lotus, and Andor. I guess that's 6. But yeah, I've seen those. I think these are all good shows. Does kind of the Emmys especially are really bad because it's like these shows come out with seasons every year, where it seems like the voting body watches the same shows over and over.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing.
But I mean, from what I like all of these shows, at least the ones that I've seen, and I mean, I don't doubt that they're deserving. But it's like one of those things where, like, for Veep, Julia Louis-Dreyfus won like 11 Emmys in a row. It's like, are you watching other TV shows?
Right.
Yeah, but I think all these shows are.
Micah, you were saying about the voters watching the same shows, and I think that is one part of it, and the other part is that the way the categories are split, like. Kind of like what you used to see with like a show like Modern Family. All the 6 adults on that show are listed as supporting actors because they're like, well, none of us are the lead. So that's why they kind of used to flood some of them. With these shows like White Lotus, like I guess I get like giving a lot of these fuckers recognition, but like now you just like absolutely have like, one of these, the supporting actress and actor category is absolutely saturated with White Lotus ones where I don't know.
I think the supporting actor is made up of 2 shows. It's like, I think it's White Lotus.
3. James Marsden is the only one who snuck in there for Paradise.
Okay, yeah, like wow.
And then an actress, Catherine Lanasa from The Pit snuck in, and Julianne Nicholson from Paradise. Otherwise, it's all actresses. And again, as someone who watched this new season of White Lotus, I gotta say, like, I don't think half of these people need to be in there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't watch enough TV, but I did watch all these. I would love. I mean, like, I got a big soft spot for like Andor.
Right. They're like
and there was some horrendous snubs in that.
Andor got 14. None of them. Did Diego get leading?
No.
Oh, of course not.
No.
Right.
But Pedro did. But Pedro.
I'm fine with that though. I'm just saying, like, I feel like you'd have to make a really, really crazy case to get more than 2 people in a given category, even supporting actor, from your show. Right? Yeah. Right? Is that crazy? I just don't see a world where Carrie Coon from fucking White Lotus is above like all the other shows that came out this year. I don't know. And this was like one of the weaker seasons of White Lotus. Sorry.
No, that's fair. I mean, this is like foreign territory for me wading into the TV space. But yeah, it is one of those things where you're like, yeah, what's going on over there with the Emmys? I don't know.
Yeah, the Emmys I feel like I pay attention to like if they win like a series wins best drama, like best series. Yeah. Or like sorry, go on.
I did see as a guest on The Studio, Martin Scorsese got his first Emmy nomination. So that's
the guest ones are cool. And again, like you said, I'm not really an Emmys like crazy watcher. But like I feel like you see like the fact that like the White List is 23 and like 6 or 8 of them are
of
from
these are
acting.
probably, like below the line stuff too, because White Lotus does look great. You know, it sounds great, and the score iconic.
It plays great.
I get it.
Yeah, no,
Costume,
I agree.
You know, that kind of stuff. So a lot of it's going to be below the line. Like, you know,
Is there a writing award?
They got like hair and makeup for, you know, the zombies and stuff like that. Oh yeah, writing is one of the categories. There's a lot. I will say I do like some of the writing on White Lotus, because they do like that circular thing where they're like, you know, you tell a story, but then like, you know, you learn more about, even though they're telling like a story that's seemingly unrelated. You know, they did that in The Brutalist a lot when Guy Pearce is talking about like that gift for his parents or whatever. You're like,
no, I get it. Like, and I think White Lotus is a show.
Story he's telling. So, I mean, I do like some of the writing. Like, yeah.
I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit here, because specifically with The Last of Us, and I'm somebody that watched last season and I liked it for what it is. I'm not sure where they're trying to go with the show. I just saw something on Twitter that said that Craig Mazin's writing the 3rd season. They're thinking about making it the final season. He doesn't know exactly how he's going to split up this season. So that doesn't give me a ton of hope right now. I feel like they should have a set plan. When I look at the outstanding, in terms of the Andor with the actors that got nominated, it was only Forrest Whitaker as a guest actor. And that is just egregious for me. Because if I think about who plays a similar role, if not larger, it's Genevieve O'Reilly. And Genevieve O'Reilly, that monologue scene in the Senate, to me, was like one of the peak moments of the show and in Star Wars. And I'm absolutely like astounded that she didn't get, looking at outstanding guest actress in a drama series, that category, Catherine O'Hara for The Last of Us got a nomination over her, and she's in like 3 episodes. And I just do not agree with that whatsoever. But it's just that I feel like because of how much we talked about it with Brian, I think you're lagging again. But
am I lagging again?
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just the viewer and the people that nominate their view on shows by HBO and Max versus something put out by Disney. Maybe that has something to do with it. But go ahead, Micah.
There's like campaigns and relationships, the whole thing. There's category fraud. There's all kinds of. It's like,
right.
You know, it's like you shouldn't be basing. I mean, I like these shows and I watch them, so like, they can get nothing else from me. Like, them getting official recognition is cool and everything, but I liked all the shows, so I don't really know. Like, you know, you can be like, you know, don't get me started on the bear running in comedy. You know,
you get so mad. I feel like you get mad about that one.
It's they're taking anyway, but like, you know, because it does help some people to get.
Well, I mean, to that point, I feel like the studio is going to steal, or maybe rightfully so, take all of the Bears' money this year.
I think they name check the bear because they do an Emmys episode, or I think they they do the Golden Globes episode. But I mean, I think half of Hollywood is in that show, just cameo and up a storm.
Right.
It's one of those shows where I'm really excited to get on board. The Apple shows I'm not caught up on, so I'm excited for it. But I could see the bear, specifically if this was for season 3, not doing too hot. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's another thing I have an issue with. What the hell is the time schedule for qualifying for the Emmys?
Right.
It blows my mind. Like, wasn't Game of Thrones here like 2 Emmys after they went off the air? Like, it was very bizarre. I was like, hey, it's this guy for Game of Thrones again. You're like, what are you talking about?
Well, yeah, how does it work though? Like, because obviously with the Oscars, you have to have a release date within 2020, right, calendar year, even though it's later.
They're like, put it out the year we do the ceremony the year after.
So
like,
do they mark the date that the Emmys air and everything after that?
That would make sense, because why is it July right now?
Yeah, I don't get it. Eric, we can move on, but sorry, I was lagging for a little bit, Eric, when you were talking, but it feels weird to say this for talking about a show that's, 1, produced by Disney, 2, Star Wars, being like, I feel like none of the voters watched it, and that's why it didn't get as much. Like, it's kind of crazy to say, but I don't think they saw this. A lot of people watched Last of Us. People watched Severance. People watched this, and that's why I got that many noms. But like, yeah, I'm glad Andor got something, but still, like, I don't think people watched it, and I think if we looked at the viewership, it would shock us. Well, we talked about nobody watching Andor, but I feel like everyone's seeing all the marketing for Fantastic Four. In fact, they just pushed out another one. They pushed out another clip with Pedro Pascal being interviewed, talking about what was discussed with Galactus. And the reason I put this on here is, are they doing too much? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Like, I know they want to get people in seats, and I'm all for like a little clip to really like show someone from the movie, but I feel like this one was like, that feels like a really big piece of the story. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Desperate. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it adds a secondary, like, it adds a layer
to. The clip. I don't. Yeah.
Okay, well, it adds a layer to the conflict that, like, I feel like should be released during the movie.
Right, would have been probably.
You shouldn't know that during the movie.
Right, because, like, Micah, I guess I won't even tell you what it is, but essentially, right, like, so you know the Silver Surfer comes down and says some stuff.
You're already saying too much. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, what's your point?
My point being is that, like...
Are you explaining the clip?
No, the clip... my point being is that, like, you have to imagine with this... that they probably talk to either the Surfer or maybe even Galactus about, like, this. Because they go, like, are we safe? Like, what's happening? They show in this clip, like, what essentially is the weighted moral decision that the Fantastic Four will need to make in this movie. And that seems like a really weird move to do in your marketing campaign.
They're doing the same thing for Superman, where like I think both of David Cornsweet's scenes with the oh my god, where's that guy's
Nicholas
name?
Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult, you know, those
the
were
dog?
both released. The dog one and the one at the end were both released, I think.
I think the one at the end was a leak, but yeah, they did put the dog.
They did release the dog one out,
and I was like,
not at the.
It was like that was one of two.
Not at the same level. Not at the same level. This one, Mike. I almost want. Listen, if you don't know, I want to.
Yeah.
But like it, like.
Oh, it's like I get it. Yeah.
No, it actually seems like what's going to be the somewhere around the 30-minute mark till about maybe the hour mark is going to be the main wrestling conflict. Eric, do you agree with me? Like that's going to be what they're wrestling with. I feel like that's weird to reveal.
I think we can. There is a level to the way these trailers and clips have been released that it's almost I could probably write this movie out on a piece of paper and like tell you exactly what's going to happen outside of the last, and maybe even based off of what we know from the final scene of Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Tell you exactly what's going to happen to the Fantastic Four. And I don't want to say that's fine, but I'm also trying to look at it from the view of like, well, Sinners had that really bad trailer, which told you, and I wish I hadn't gone to the movie knowing that Stack was going to become a vampire along with
Mary.
Haley Steinfeld.
Mary, yeah.
And I still kind of wish I didn't, but if it's a good movie, it's going to make up for it. It's going to be fine. Like, you're going to enjoy the product. This is something I'm a little bit more worried about. And I don't know how to feel about knowing exactly what's going to happen with this movie.
You saw the clip, obviously.
Yeah.
And if they had released maybe this first X amount of time of the clip, maybe intercut with like the scenes of them with the Silver Surfer like standing in front of Galactus, and they're asking about it. They're asking Pedro Pascal a bunch of questions. And he says the sentence, Mike, he goes, we tried to negotiate with him, but his asking price was too high. And they go, what did he ask? If they just cut it right there, that's like, what was it? But then they reveal it, which is crazy. That's a crazy move.
It's going to undermine for people that know it. And obviously there's comic fans that know what's going to happen regardless to a degree. I'd imagine this isn't something they just came up with. But I don't know. We're speaking in a lot of whatever tone about it. I want this movie to do well but it's leading towards something where ultimately we don't know if it's going to work. Right? We've just, I guess, transitioning.
Yeah,
just found out that Doomsday, which they're filming right now, they don't even know where they're going. The third act hasn't been decided on. They're still writing it. They've been shooting the movie for a couple months now. This is giving me, what was the last Star Wars movie? Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker vibes all over because they were doing the same thing. Through line there is Disney. They feel like they have to put something out there. This might fall in line with you, Brian. This might be a complete shit show.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't even matter. The Fantastic Four movie is completely spelled out.
Listen, I've been saying that this has the potential to be one of the biggest pieces of doo-doo ever put to the silver screen. But I guess I just thought that maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. I could not have predicted this. Holy... What do you mean you don't have the third act?
And then the fact that this is
insane!
Coming out is also wild because this isn't like an uncommon practice in this like genre of movies to just kind of like, you know, focus test out a movie. You know, like for it to be coming out, that means like someone is already trying to cast blame.
Right.
Someone's already trying to like, hey, get this away from me, and I wonder who it's coming from. If there's any sort of like, advocacy to be had, it could be that with what I think, based on like the story, could be happening is that they're deciding like who to put in the next movie, and like that could be a big contract rights, popularity thing, and they're all trying to work out what to do with people. So I don't know, but that's still not an excuse to have started and you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, or they just straight up don't even know how it's going to end. Like, I'm sure there have been plenty of movies, maybe during the writer's strike, maybe not, that they didn't have the full script for maybe their third act, the nitty gritty, the dialogue all ironed out, which doesn't usually bode well, but you could do it and no one has to know about it.
Yeah,
However, even there, I imagine they had the line like, well, we're going to end up on here and fight this guy, and then this is what's going to happen, and then this is how it ends. Like, I'd like to think it's just a matter of like, well, we got to pick who lives and dies and who's moving on. I could see it going as bad as like, I don't know. We don't even know. We don't even know what's going to happen next. You saw the set? What is that? Is it the Star Trek Enterprise?
Thank you, Russos. Let's go, man.
I think that was a leak intentional because that was came out the same day that Superman premiered, and they're like, "Look, it's stuff. It's guys you know, and it's a set."
Yeah.
And like, it was like a Snapchat, and it had like words being like the coolest set I've ever been on. I was like, "This is
fake.
Subterfuge. You're not sneaky. This is like that was like they had professional lighting. They were like, now take the Snapchat and write good things about the behind the scenes, because it does seem like people like a ship with holes in it, and someone's desperately trying to like pass around
steer
buckets.
Yeah. It's scary because this isn't even like, it's one thing when it's Rise of Skywalker. I mean, in two different ways is equally bad, right? Because Rise of Skywalker, you're trying to end they market it as ending a 9 movie like story, right? And they're making it up as they go. They're still, like, they need these movies to work, and Kevin Feige knows that. They need these Avengers movie to work, and this is one of two, because what's the next one? It's
Secret Wars.
Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Well, actually, I don't know if this is worth saying for the podcast. Was like, hey, well, good news. Looks like they're not going to hit that release date. Dune?
I know.
Good job. You got it, Dune.
There's no way. There's no way.
You're kidding me? No. They're not going to do it.
Honestly,
we talked weeks ago about, like,
them having the same release date.
Oh, they're not going to hit that fucking date.
No, there's no way.
I'd bet.
I'd
stake everything.
The third act not being done means they don't have stuff to give the VFX guys. Like, hey, make this, or we're here. So they're going to be scrambling. I mean, we're going to see working conditions we haven't seen. I mean,
just pay them then, I guess. Centuries. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to see these people like be. Sorry, we were just saying real quick about how, like, listen, good news, silver lining. There's no way they hit that release date of end of 2026. So, Dune, you got the green light, buddy.
I mean, hopefully. They need to concede that date. They need to give it to Dune.
They're not going to do it yet because that shows weakness, but they will. They will.
I mean, but they've already moved it once. This is a weak project. Everyone knows it. Just take whatever time it takes to make it good. I mean, like, Sonic was bad, and then they took the time, and now there's like fucking 4 Sonics. Like, that would not have happened.
Right.
It still look like
those movies make money.
They showed us.
If he had the human teeth.
And like, and weird feet. And like,
meow.
Yeah, it's been weird. Just weird. But speaking of weird teeth, this week, our movie of the week starred Gary Busey and some other people, Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze.
That's the transition.
That's
the transition.
Just a quick transition to our movie of the week. This is about FBI agent Keanu Reeves, known as Johnny Utah, tracking down the ex-presidents, a surfing gang of bank robbers, with the lead played by Patrick Swayze. And it's just about surfing, and what if your op is also your soulmate,
Yeah.
And that is the movie.
Yep.
Directed by Kathleen Bigelow, came out in 1991. Patrick Swayze on an absolute heater of movies. I mean, this is like post-Ghost, post-Roadhouse, because he's kicking in this movie, and every time and then I was like wondering, is this after Roadhouse? He's swinging them legs.
The first shower scene, he's like, when they're fighting outside the beach.
So many kicks, bro.
Yeah. But Brian, you got some thoughts about the movie?
I mean, let's just say, holy 90s. We could talk a little more. We'll get into later about like the nitty gritty. I really like this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I feel like because this is my first time seeing it, it is only like taking away from how much I could like it. I could see if this was your movie you've been watching since then, it'd be great. I think the more I watch this movie, I'll like it more. But I was a big fan. But yeah, it's just one of those movies where it's just super, super romantic.
On all sides.
Oh my God.
On all sides.
Just, oh my God, like just kiss already. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Like,
I mean, he wants him so bad.
it's like
got
acid in your
throat.
mouth. Like, why are they wrestling around in jeans so like listen, he keeps being like, I'll do anything for Tyler or something dumb like that. It's like,
Tyler, yeah.
I'm gonna do anything for Tyler. I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, Tyler. Yeah, that's the one you love. Miss you by weekend feature. I'm like, yo, bro, let it go. Just to kiss you one more time in Australia. Listen, it was classic. It was cheesy in the best ways, but like well done in a lot of the other ways. I was a big fan. A lot of great lines in this movie. Holy fuck.
Oh yeah, young, dumb, and full of confidence.
I
was
am an
literally
FBI agent.
Yeah. Oh, I have more thoughts about that. Eric, what'd you think?
Yeah, Ricky, go
No,
ahead, buddy.
I had a lot of fun with this movie. I think, yeah, Holy 90s is a good way to put it. Young, dumb, full of cum was on the tip of
my God, I forgot about that one.
I was too early on in the
4
movie.
minutes in.
I'm sure we're going to get into talking about Keanu's line delivery, but Keanu is just one of one in general. And it's weird that, like, I think Johnny Utah as a character is, first off, a horrible FBI agent. Like, I think he makes
Terrible.
every wrong decision possible, gets his partner killed. He should not end up with Tyler at the end. Like, he's overall, like, bad person in many ways.
Stay back. What did he say? Stay back. So you'll get your cover blown.
No. Jumping in there. But I'm like, it's Keanu Reeves. Like, his line delivery is objectively bad at times, but it like works for the character. And he's like, the point where he's trying to imitate like surfer dudes. I'm like, this is you, like how you sound in The Office too, Johnny.
Yes, this is just him. Yeah. So this is Keanu Reeves coming off of Bill and Ted, and it was a little bit wild that he was cast for this. The studio wanted either Matthew Broderick or Johnny Depp for the Johnny Utah.
I think
character.
Depp was the right
I could
call.
see Depp in that role.
I think this works so well because he is so, even though he had never surfed before this movie, he surfs regularly now. He's just such a surfer, bro. And that, with the suit, he's like, yeah, it's me, like, my name's Johnny Utah. And then you're like, okay, I don't buy you as a lawyer.
Yeah.
But it's still so fun.
It works. I'm saying more like I would say if I was going objectively, like as actors, I'd probably go with Depp. But I like Keanu in this role a lot.
I have said this. I think he's a bad actor, but he works. Like, he walks a fine line that I think maybe only he can walk.
Agreed.
Him and, like, Johnny, and him and, like, Nick Cage, where it's like, you're doing something unheard of in acting.
I think that's why, like, maybe the Wachowski siblings found something we didn't. Because, like, when he was, like, doing that, whoa, what? Like, always perplexed thing in The Matrix, they're like, people thought we're like, wow, what a great performance. No, I think that was just him.
He doesn't understand.
He just
what's
was
going
confused.
on. Yeah.
Like, man, I haven't seen Speed in a while. I don't remember I feel like he's a little more straight man there.
I think this is what made him an action star. People were like, oh, he can do action. Like, he was that dumb stoner comic guy, and then he did this, and they're like, he's still dumb. But he has, like, a physicality. That was him on the surfboard. I mean, Patrick Swayze. The studio had to give Patrick Swayze a cease and desist to stop him from jumping out of the plane more. Like, they were just having a fucking blast. Yeah. The woman that played Tyler had never been in the ocean before.
Damn.
Like, these people were just living it up. It reminded me a lot of, like, Jackass, especially the other surfer guys. I was like, that's Pontius, like, 5 times over.
Yeah, really.
No.
Flipping their hair around and talking about their balls. Like, it was an experience.
Do you know what's something that this wasn't a problem with the movie? Because, like, again, sometimes you don't have to say everything. They never explain, whether from Keanu seeing it or them talking about it, why they're so good at bank robbing. Like, they never talk about their process, like, ever.
Oh, it's quick. They just go in quick.
But I guess they figured it out, but...
Yeah, but obviously they must have figured it out years ago. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm not, like, being like, you know what they do? Like, I'm not saying that as a complaint. I'm just stating the fact that, like...
Cinema sins Brian again.
No, I'm saying it was just interesting. They never did.
They just knew what they were doing, which is like, yeah, maybe don't have to explain it, I guess.
Also, Keanu, it's just like so funny, like you said, bad FBI agent. Where I'm like, as soon as they confirmed that the meth, whatever those dudes, the guys who beat him up, that they busted and fucked up the DA raid, I'd be like, Keanu, I'm gonna hold your hand. I think it might be your pals.
Yeah,
Like,
and I love that.
Who else
scene.
would it be?
He's just like, He's like, shit. Like, when he figures out he caught the wrong guys and he fucked up that whole other operation, which also is on the FBI for, like, not flagging that they were
I'm gonna say, they kept blaming him and his partner.
No. Like, that's on them. That's bad. Like, you gotta know.
That's on the Bureau.
That's on the
To
Bureau.
be like, hey...
For a department that's all that main guy or whatever his name was just like we do this all in data analytics, like you gotta know when you got so many deep cover there. A couple other things I was just dying about. In terms of Keanu being a bad FBI agent, him going up and jumping out of the plane with them when he knew that they knew he was an agent was just the dumbest thing. And I liked like the whole scene where the creative choices he made, like, oh, is this how they're gonna kill him? Like, give him a bag that's not full of shit, and like he jumps out of the plane, he dies. Like, it happens. I thought that's.
And they do the switcheroo.
Yeah, I'm like, that's good.
And I was like, I lost the pack. It was like the ball under the cup. I was like, if there's a bad pack, which one is it?
Yeah.
But then it was just about like
romance.
They just wanted to hold hands.
Yeah, it turned into the romantic scene in the movie, and I was like, one way or another, like Johnny Utah, you are an idiot for still thinking you're undercover when everyone knows who you are. And like then he's all shocked at the he's like when what's his name has Tyler all tied up. Like he walked straight into that trap, and I don't know.
Right, like exactly. You think he'd be like they're like maybe they didn't see me, bruh.
You locked eyes with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he literally stood at the top of the fence and looked back.
Yeah,
because he loves you.
Can we talk about the chase scene, which I loved?
Yeah,
I loved it too.
Yeah,
I thought it was so. Like, the whole movie felt very, like, crowded with people, which I liked. All the office scenes felt very crowded. Like, people just randomly walking between characters that are talking. And then, like, they run through Malibu, and you're just, like, breaking into people's homes. When he throws
the dog, yeah.
That was crazy.
He's just getting mauled. Weaponizing the dog. That was so funny.
That was great.
Or even, like, the DAA heist. That whole scene is crazy. Like,
so much going on.
The lawnmower in the wall.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then I'm scared. And then when Keanu Reeves gets his ass kicked.
Who was the? I was gonna say who was the ballerina from John Wick in the shower? She was catching bodies.
She was like chop.
Yeah. She got the other agent too. She got the other agent too.
Yeah, she stabbed him. Yeah. Oh my god. No, she was a badass.
No, and Micah, like you said about the crowd thing, is that like Catherine Bigelow, credit to her, there were some shots, not even some action shots, like the way the maneuvering the office that really emphasized just how like zany this whole chaotic the world is, because there's this really long tracking shot with him and
then, I noticed that the serenity of all the surfing shots, I really liked that. Like she shot that differently. It just had like you could tell she was cooking something. I think she'd only done 2 movies before this. You could tell she had the sauce from this, though.
Yeah.
I always just kind of laugh, though. Maybe this is just me with my sand. I don't know. There's a lot of times people will be, like, on the sand, like, wrestling, and they'll be like, oh, I gotta go. And they just run. Like, Keanu Reeves spent all night surfing, came back on the sand, had sex with Tyler, got up, from there, threw jeans on, just ran to the thing. I feel like he'd come up there and be like, first off, you smell.
You smell horrible.
You're covered in sand. What the fuck? He's like, oh, sorry.
I know that wasn't a comfortable sleep either. You're on sand, pal.
But any of that was comfortable.
And I've heard this before, but like watching it, I'm like, oh my god, not Need for Speed. Fast and Furious is just
it's Point Break with cars.
It's just Point Break with cars. And like
to a degree, you don't even know. They go to the same restaurant that Tyler works at in Fast.
Shut up.
Oh,
no, they do not.
Idea.
They do.
It is actually so insane how like reheated the nachos are. Like it is the exact same story.
It's even just as gay.
Yeah, like to the point where it's like, oh, like he's going friends with him, like we're gonna try and bust the wrong people, and then turn out it's actually your friend all along. Like I don't know how they were able to get away with that. Like I know everything rhymes in Hollywood, but that's crazy.
It was only like a decade later, too. Yeah. It wasn't that far.
I'll be honest, that's a pitch I'd say yes to. If you told me...
Hey, Micah...
Point Break I'd be like, yes.
I do have a question, because maybe I missed it. Or it's something I wasn't picking up on. Why did he just Bodie decide to go like, let's go for the vault? Just because Keanu was there? I was a little bit like, did I miss something about him? He wasn't like digressing as a character, I feel like. I don't know.
I think it's interesting that you say that, because the whole movie... the Johnny Utah character and the Bodie character keep trying to one-up each other. Like
that's true, I guess, yeah.
With the parachute, like, you pull first, no, I'll pull first, you pull first. Like, the football game. Even.
That's gotta be.
So I
right.
think, yeah, I think, like, when he was robbing the bank in front of him, he was like, you know, I know we're usually in and out in 90 seconds, we don't go for the vault, but I'm going to one-up him. I'm going to go for the vault. And then everything goes so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's gotta be it, right? It's the extreme aspect, but I'm kind of like, why? Like, what are you doing? And then they get shot.
The off-duty cop just, Keanu Reeves, undercover agent, just getting clocked in the chest twice. I laughed at that. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's a funny movie. There's some really funny stuff. I felt super bad for the bad guys, though. Probably one of the most sympathetic I've felt for the villains of a movie, like the ex-presidents. I thought they were so funny. The Nixon guy, that was so I'm not a crook. Like, that had me dying. Do you guys have, like, a favorite scene?
I think, dude.
Okay, first off, I gotta say, just like a moment, I was like, oh shit. Keanu finally, like, being like, all right, hands are tied. I've been after dude without a parachute is OD.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was cool.
Something about the end scene, even as cheesy as it was, like with the handcuffs, I was just kind of like laughing. I'm like, all right, Keanu, like, you gotta let him go.
Yeah.
Go right there.
He's like, come on.
I just laugh about it being like, there's supposedly a storm coming in, yet we got choppers. I'm like, what is that? Because I almost thought initially, like, it was just him, like, pulling up and being like, even if he was there as an agent, like, maybe he's like, I'm gonna book you and I gotta walk you up to the town and then we can get you in things. I realized he had the whole thing. I almost would have rathered it was that because there was something about it. But Carly was geeking, reading reviews because everyone was like, I feel like they should have kissed before you uncuffed him.
It is, like, strangely, like, very romantic. Like, him being like, this is all I want, please, bro. And he's just like, I can't say no to you. Like, you kidnapped my girl, you
killed people,
arrested,
like,
you killed a bunch of people, but
go shred that gnar, bro. Go rip it.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I know you're gonna die, so, like, go ahead. And then, killer last line, we say a lot about his delivery, but they're being like, why'd you let him get away? And he's like, he's not coming back. And he's like, or whatever.
He said,
they say he's like, they go get him when he comes back, and he's like, he's not coming back.
Yeah. That's how he wanted to go.
Anyone have a knee hurting watching that movie? This dude just kept re-tearing his ACL.
Dude, every scene. Yeah.
Dude, that was killing me a little bit. Like, when him and Tyler have their fight, and he tries to get out of the bed, and he's like, fighting. And he's laying on the phone like, why can't I express my feelings?
Dude.
I was like,
that phone call was fucking hilarious. He's like, because he says it so fast, where he's just like on the phone and he's like, I thought if I told you, you'd leave. Good guess, huh? Why can't I say what I mean? It's like, he puts the phone down so quick and just says it. Like, he's one of one, dude.
Dude, he's amazing.
Bro, what cracked me up is that, like, there's a scene earlier where he goes like, you're kind of old. And he's like, Keanu's like, I'm 25. I'm like,
I don't know about that one, Chief.
But, all right, maybe. And then, like, some of his buddies, the ex-presidents, are like, I'm not making it 30. I'm like, even less so. And I'm like, Swayze, if you say you're under 30, I'm calling crap, because you like...
Dude, it's
like at least 37. I don't know. Like, if he was like, I'm just figuring out with my 20s, my 20s. Yeah, motherfucker, you look 40.
Dude. I'll say this also with Keanu. When he was talking about his 20, he was 25, and then he was like, played college football, and then that whole football scene, I'm watching him throw the ball. I'm like, you are dog.
Looks like shit,
buddy. You are. Like, everything else, you look pretty athletic. And then they're like, this is Johnny Utah, Buckeyes quarterback, Rose Bowl. I'm like, can you imagine, like, Trevor Lawrence just pulling up on you and all of a sudden he's a fucking FBI agent? Like, I would be in tears thinking about it.
I feel like that it's a different era of college ball. You didn't have people necessarily going to the NFL, right? But, like, even still, also, how do you recognize him?
Well, yeah, apparently these guys are huge Trojans fans, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know. Because these surfer guys, who all they do is surf and rob banks, are not only tapped the fuck into college football, they play regularly on the beach on some sort of infinitely long beach setup with, lights. They had to have more than 22 people playing. They're doing D-line and O-line. They're snapping the ball. That's crazy.
Was it tackle?
Yeah.
It was.
Swayze rushing up.
There's a moment where Tyler flips a dude. I'm calling shenanigans on that. First off,
but what was it? Like you said, Micah. Like I don't understand that scene when he tackles Swayze into the water. I'm like,
well, that was
it
just
seemed
a
like
touch on Swayze.
no, I know, but like it was really far from everyone, and he's out of
gotta
bounds,
be out
and
of
also
bounds.
He went
way
through
too
the
far down.
Entire offense, probably twice. It looked like he trucked like.
Yeah, no.
7 guys.
I'm like, Jesus, the blocking scheme is crazy.
He's like, and you know what?
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't think artists are very athletic. Maybe they're just a little bit out of their depth. The guys who wrote it, and then Catherine Bigelow are sitting around. They're like, I don't know how many guys are on a football field.
Yeah,
50? And then like they just shot it. But where would you rank that compared to like the Top Gun volleyball scene? Because I feel like those are very similar energies.
In terms of like, I was thinking about the Top Gun like scene when and remembering Tarantino just being like,
a pop song.
just being like, this is a homosexual movie.
Okay,
like,
okay.
and I'm like, I'm watching Point Break. I'm like, is it June? Like, this is crazy, bro.
No, I think the football scenes and like the general group scenes, like Top Gun has overall more homoerotic scenes, but I will say Bodie and Utah versus like Iceman and Maverick, not even close. Bodie and Utah are like literally sitting here like here's your danger.
He'll
like,
take you to the edge, man.
I can see it in your eyes, like, you know.
He's like ass in your mouth.
Oh, okay. You know what's crazy is at the house party when Johnny comes in with Tyler and they're doing the margarita. They're doing like
He's
doing
doing
like
the
tequila
tequila
shots
shot.
with the
She's got the lime in her mouth. The girl.
And he's like talking to Johnny, and he's like, "Yeah, man, what's mine is yours." Oh, he's like, "She's wild," and then he's like, "Welcome to my house. What's mine is yours."
Yeah, that was
like,
weird.
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa!" He's just saying like, "Yeah, I hit that. Go ahead."
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and they just keep bringing it up. They're basically Eskimo brothers, and they wish they were more.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like at one point Bodie's like, she loves you, man. I mean, she wasn't like this with me. Like, you must be hitting it good. Yeah. Love to feel that. I love to feel that on my end. Just saying.
I don't know what you got going on, man.
Oh my god, man, this shit was funny.
Dude, if I was one of his goons, like in the Dead Presidents, I'd be like, man, who is this guy? Like, he just brought in, and he's like, head over heels. It's like, yeah, as an FBI agent, we know where he lives. We can just pull up and kill him. And he's like, no.
No, I was just thinking the same. I was thinking the same thing, Micah. We're like at the end, they're like, he's like, I got an idea to deal with him. So they do the whole skydiving thing, which again ultimately seemed kind of necessary. And then he shows him the Tyler situation. But I'm with you. If I was Buddy, I'd be like, okay, how about we either A, kill him, B, do a heist somewhere else, or C, just dip. I don't know why we're like, what? No, but I want to see it look in his eyes when he's falling.
Yeah.
You know, just
he's like, there's an adrenaline junkie in there. Don't worry, guys. I can win him over. I'll riz him up.
Yeah. And I love that because that whole scene, and it's bringing up a conversation I want to have, like Bodie and his mentality also, and like his motivations, because that whole fire play, like when they're at a campfire scene talking about like after the heist goes wrong, they're talking about what they need to do with Johnny Utah, and they're all like, no, we got to get out of here, man. And Bodie's gives him this whole speech about like how they are going against the grain on society, and they're like an inspiration to people because they're not abiding by like the laws of society and everything. I'm like, you guys aren't like Robin Hood, what you're doing. Like, you're not giving back to the poor. You are stealing money just so you can continue to party. Like, there is no, like, redeeming quality to what you're doing.
And you're telling
like,
they hit 30 banks in 3 years. It just feels like they're not doing well with what they're getting because their lifestyle doesn't seem that expensive. Like, what are they doing with all that?
International flights. They're traveling around the world.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
In the off-season.
And winters must be expensive.
Yeah.
There's no
I just didn't like that whole, like, spiel of him trying to feel righteous about what he's doing because I was just, which is in line with his character, but I don't buy that his goons would fall for that. He's like, so what do you say, guys? And they're all like, yeah.
I trust you.
Also,
he gets them all killed. Like,
by the way, Bodie, people be like, Bodie, stupid move going to that beach you said you were going to be at when he caught you. But honestly, I would have banked it that there's no way Keanu would still be on the force, let alone that department. Because after he should have gone to jail, he went rogue with his partner, who's now dead.
He got his partner killed.
And then ended up in Mexico.
Yeah. It's like, what happened, man? Like, I mean, how far does they kidnap me, and they have, my girlfriend held hostage go? Like, you can't be an accessory to murder just because, like, you were kidnapped. You're like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Of, like, someone who's not your kidnapper. Yeah, I don't know how he got out of that one. He's got a good lawyer. Oh, maybe he represents...
He'd been on traffic detail. But I'm just saying, even if he didn't get arrested, he wouldn't certainly have been still on that case with jurisdiction to do a full like sting raid in Australia outside of the U.S.'s jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Like, I think Bodie made the right call going. I wouldn't have been like, damn. No, sorry, that was it.
Day, bit bopping around the world following him. He's just doing like a 2 days later what the bank robbers planned to do. He was just doing it 2 days later.
Yeah. Rest in peace to his partner. He did not deserve to go out like that either. Like, he was never like a bad guy or anything. I was just like,
no.
It's kind of obvious he's going to go out towards the end. I was just like, this sucks. Like, why is he going out like this?
Dude, I felt terrible. Every time someone died, I felt horrible because they all seemed like nice enough people. Like, I like the Gary Busey, like, your introduction to him, he's blindfolded.
Yeah.
He's talking shit about Johnny Utah. And then, like, he doesn't even feel bad about it. He's like, yep, that's what I am. And he does the front flip into the pool.
Yeah.
For the bricks.
That was...
I haven't seen a lot of Gary Busey movies, but if this is the energy he's bringing, I would...
Apparently he's nuts.
Yeah.
But I was on board with it. Like, it worked.
He's also terrible at his job. What do you mean you're reading the newspaper and eating a meatball?
Yo, I was just thinking that same scene. They just...
Two meatball subs. Hey, Utah, 2 meatball subs.
I should have got...
Please.
Utah, give me 2. I like that. I like that line, though.
When he shoots the lawnmower, that was probably like at the edge of my disbelief. When he shot the lawnmower.
Nah, it was a good movie.
Any final thoughts here? Folks?
No, I think that's a good one, though.
Yeah, good choice, Micah. That's got a couple summer movies in a row here now.
Oh, the boogie board's not ready for me this week.
Yeah, we're gonna have to recreate one of them Point Break scenes.
You guys want to play football on the beach in our jeans?
As homoerotic.
Somebody point out that scene from Maverick. They're like, couldn't it be any other song? I ain't worried about it, dude.
That song, yeah.
No, but yeah, those. I need to do my movie of the week.
Yes, sir. It's over to you.
So, Eric, I told Mike before we got here, I have to travel for work on the Monday that we leave. I'm gonna bring my equipment in case I have to record in Mississippi.
My SSI.
I'll tell you all about that later. But I was thinking another kind of '90s action movie that's on a streaming thing. Of course, Time Cop, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Just because it's coming out in theaters again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not why. I just was thinking like 90s action. I need to stream. I couldn't do a theater movie this time.
Well, great choice, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know how good it is, but
I do like Jean. I mean, do a split.
we're gonna find out.
Do a split.
But yeah, let's we can wrap. Eric, so you have enough time. But this is,
Sorry, never mind. It is coming out in theaters again, but not until August. So I'm down to
hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Time Cop. I'm down.
Time Cop.
I'm down. Well, yeah, guys, that's another episode we brought to y'all. Pretty short one this time, but we're excited. We're gonna probably put some content together this weekend if we can remember between all of our Gene football games on the beach. But we're excited. We appreciate anyone that's been listening. I think this is episode 17 or 18 now.
I believe so, yeah.
We're almost at 20.
Almost at 20. So Naked Pod at 20.
Yo, giveaway.
You know what I'm saying?
Giveaway.
But appreciate
one of you comment. Literally any of you. It doesn't matter.
Someone comment.
Someone comment.
Someone comment.
Anyone comments. We'll make a shirt. I don't care. Just someone comment who we don't know personally. Yeah. Anyone. If we don't know you personally, you're going to get a...
Hey,
give us your address.
I challenge anyone who doesn't know us personally to comment.
Like, you'll be our number one fan. Welcome. You can come on the next episode. I don't give a fuck.
We'll have you on. Give me the host. I don't care.
All right, let's see.
All right, we appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Till next time.